COD Advanced Warfare's new deep dive trailer video, which explains a lot of things including exoskeletons, map design, and more. So getting straight into things, we see Dodge. That is the first exoskeleton ability that we see. So what Dodge does is it essentially lets you dodge bullets and other things. So it's a dash technique. So what you can do is if you're being shot at someone and you want to escape before they kill you, you can dodge or dash to the right hand side into cover, and then you can maybe dash again depending on its recharge time into more cover. So I see this being used quite a lot. I don't see it being annoying, because it doesn't dash you too far away from from where you were before. So if you are shooting someone and someone dashes, you won't lose your aim too much, and you will be able to get back onto your target fairly quickly. So next is the boost slide, and now what I think about this is that it's going to be fine, because you don't see prone, you don't see it taking you into prone. Now they didn't show much of it, so maybe it does, but from what we see it's only crouch, and I think that this will be nothing but good for the game, because this means you can easily slide into cover if you're being shot at, and you know, if you take into account that you have dodge, you can follow them and then boost slide and whatever, so it doesn't turn into a camping tactic, so this seems great. Next up is Boost Dash. So what this does is that it lets you jump into the air, and as you jump in the air you can dodge. It does the same thing as dodge. You can dodge or dash to left, right, wherever. I was going to say center. And it'll let you go wherever. Now, I don't see this being used much at all, but personally, I think that in competitive gaming, if this is a thing in this game, this will be used a lot, going in and out of cover, but more than that, jumping in and out of windows, which does put you into cover, but it will be used a lot in competitive gaming, probably not so much in public match, but we'll have to see what it does. And in terms of jump shots, this will be great, because if you see someone going out of a corner, or you just go into a head-on collision, you can jump and then dash right to them, and they will be shot shitless. Next up we have Boost Slam. Now this lets you slam into the ground as you are in mid-air, but the thing about this is that you won't be able to boost slam when you have just jumped from normal ground. Of course, if you were to jump and then use your exoskeleton to go higher, it would probably work. But all they show us is jumping from a high place, and I think it's going to stay that way, so this won't be used too much. However, there is a lot of verticality in the maps, and we haven't seen much of them, so I can't stick to that. And now we have Exo Hover. Now this looks really good, but I have to say that this could get pretty annoying. What this lets you do is, as you are in mid-air, it will let you literally just hover, and it won't make you go up or down, and you'll just be able to stay there. Now, of course, this does depend on the exoskeleton suit that you have, depending on how long it's charged for. So you won't be able to stay in the air forever, but I'm fairly sure it will let you stay in there for maybe 5 seconds at most. But it's up to the devs. I can see this getting pretty annoying as you turn corners and you find some campers just charging up their suit and then jumping back up in the air as they see maybe people spawning on the minimap. So do look out for this. Personally, I don't think this is a very good addition to the game, but we'll have to wait for the full release to properly know. Now we have the Exo Cloak. So what this does is that it makes you nearly invisible to players. This does require your exoskeleton's battery, so that means that if you use your Exo Cloak, you cannot use your Exo Hover straight away unless there is some battery left inside. Personally, I think that this will be used a lot by flankers and rushers, you know, at the start of the game, but it does make you nearly invisible. Not completely invisible, just nearly. So for people like flankers, this is fine. You don't see them anyway, but it's just in case, you know. For rushers, not so much, especially at the start of the map. If you can imagine a huge map, just running straight down there, you're gonna see the little bit of black, and I don't know, with all the action going around, you might miss it, but these maps do seem fairly small, like sort of cramped together, so I'm not too sure about that one. Well, it's not a COD game if there's something that completely fucks it up, isn't it? So next we've got the Exo riot shield. I forgot what it's called, but it's a riot shield. You can use it on the spot. Now I'm not sure if this uses the battery because we haven't seen the battery system, but personally this is gonna pretty much ruin the game because you don't it's not anything that you would use in your Pick 13 system, which I will go on to now. It just comes in your exoskeleton suit, so it will not hurt you in maybe pretty much any way to take this riot shield, and it is on the go. This will either make the break or game for a lot of people. We'll just have to wait for the release. And now we have the Exo Trophy system. So what this does is it's just a normal trophy system. It will block incoming grenades, tactical grenades, projectiles, anything of the sort. It is on the go. It doesn't say if it's activated automatically. What I think is that you'd have to activate it manually, and then it will save you from up to 2 bursts before it needs to recharge and then carry on. And it does have a timer. This will be good, really good on the fly, great for rushers, domination players and whatnot. Really good addition to the game. And on the flip side, we have the Exo Launcher. And now this makes me very happy because it doesn't mention if you can use a Semtex or tactical grenade in your creator class system. So the Exo Launcher lets you launch grenades, grenades, tacticals, other drones and things like that. And it doesn't say that it's there in the creator class system, so you'd have to sacrifice that for, say, the Exo Hover or something else of the sort, which I think is very good. But this could also render the previous Exo Trophy system, useless. But we'll have to see again when the game comes out. Next we have the perks. Now only one perk was shown in this, which doesn't give me too much of a good feeling at all, if they only show one perk, but, we haven't got the game yet, so we'll have to wait for a trailer showing the Pick 13 system, which I will now go on to very soon. I've said that 2 times now. The exoskeleton's ability, including dash, jump, boosts, and whatnot, all seem like great additions to the game, but I feel like this won't be the game that Titanfall was meant to be. Now, the maps do look good from what we see in the trailers, but if you look at overhead views, you can't see many openings in the rooftops and, side panel window things that you would want to see in the game. So all of these abilities won't be used too much by the looks of it, but because what you're seeing in trailers are just like two parts of every 4 map, of all the 4 maps that you've seen. So I'm not too sure if that would be good. As the very boldly voiced guy says in the video, the new Pick 13 system has been inspired off the Black Ops 2 creator class system, which I loved greatly. Now, will this give you the same amount of customization, all the things that that you could be different about with Black Ops 2? Yes, from what I can see, you will have a totally different character to the next person, especially on, maybe a month into the game. Everyone will have different things, prestiges and whatnot. This game will be, you will have many different classes and everything. Now, something very interesting that we see in the creator class Pick 13 system is that you have your scored streaks as well. So this is very, very interesting. This means that you can choose to have, a primary weapon, perks, and secondary weapon with attachments and things, but you'd have to then sacrifice your score streaks. You have 3 score streaks done. Now, depending on how many points they each are worth, if you have the UAV worth 1 point, and then the gunship worth 4 points, let's say, this will change quite a few things, and it could mean that, you'd have to sacrifice, say, your secondary weapon to get that VSAT, that you want. So, very interesting, and we'll just have to wait for release to see how this plays out. Oh, it's about time they added this, guys. The virtual firing range. Guys, between lobbies, you will no longer be sitting there bored. In this virtual firing range, you can test out your weapons, grenades, tacticals, whatever you have, and there will be no one else there. You can shoot from different angles, jump, whatnot, all in the lobby while you're waiting for the, for the map to be chosen, and whatever. Guys, this should have been in the game years ago. This is great. Next up, we have create an operator. So what this is basically create a soldier from Ghosts. You can just change how your soldier looks like. This won't be a big thing at all. You don't see your character very often. No one else sees your character very often either. So, just an advertising scam. So, yeah, moving on. Alright, so now we have supply drops. They don't give us much information on this. What I think is that you will get supply drops in the middle of a game, and it does say based on the time played. So this could either mean altogether the time played. So if you've played the game for 3 days in total, you can unlock the sniper rifle that is the best one. Or it could mean if you've been in the game for 3 minutes, you will then get a supply drop. It could also be like Titanfall, where you're set to get your Titan, or in this case maybe your pistol, after 2 minutes, but the more kills you get, the more it's reduced. We'll just have to wait yet again for release. So in the virtual lobby, we have a pretty cool sort of option where you can see what people have, what guns they've equipped, what perks they have, a lot of other things, which seems really cool. This will be huge in competitive gaming if this virtual lobby is allowed. Personally, I think that they will keep the scoreboard system that you see at the end of games as well. Virtual lobby will just be an option for you to use. Won't be used too much. It won't be game changing because you don't have too long in the lobbies to amend your creator class systems for what people have coming for you. But I think it's very cool. You can see what people are using going into the match. Also, it can only show you one class, so people could trick you with this, but I'm not going to say it. There isn't much to say about the maps except that there is a lot more verticality than you can see it right now, than we have really ever seen in a Call of Duty game before. That said, we won't be able to go to the rooftops that you can see, but from what I can see now, there is a lot of verticality. Not sure if we can go up everything, we definitely can't, but it does look like a lot of the places will be accessible in the game. Each of the 4 maps shown have their own individual twist to it. For example, on Riot, I believe that's the prison map, it has lasers, showing you where players are. This might just be in the 4 maps shown, but if not, it won't be much of a big thing either. Maybe except on Riot, but the lines aren't too easy to see, and with so much going on, you won't notice those small things that there are. The game modes include the usual hardpoint team deathmatch, capture the flag, domination, which is really cool. They are bringing back the core. Game modes that there have been in past Call of Duty games. One of the new game modes, Uplink, involves a satellite dish that you must, it's like a hot potato, well it's not, but it's a ball that you carry. You've got to take it into your team's goal, so really cool. It's like the opposite of capture the flag, I guess, and you can pass it to teammates. This will be a very tactical game mode, definitely in competitive gaming. If I play this game, I'm going to love this game mode, and this will be probably the only thing I play if I do play this game.